day 2 here at Rally of Portugal, and we kind of mentioned last night, Luke Barry, that we might see some drama out there today.
We did.
We did. My goodness, we did. We did. We saw some drama. We saw some competition of the highest quality. And we saw in the penultimate stage, we saw a rally-changing incident. We started the day, Ott Tänak, pursued by Sebastian Ogier. 7.5 seconds between them. First couple of stages, we thought, game on. Ogier is clawing in to Tanak's lead. 2 seconds separated them after 2 stages. That was the start of a wonderful battle.
It was. And don't forget, because I almost forgot until we're talking about it there was a real left puncture for Tanak as well after that second stage. At this point, the tide is very much in Ogier's favour. You're thinking he's going to take the lead, but then...
But that 2-second lead became a nearly 12-second lead after the third stage this morning. I have to say, it got rough out there, folks. Let me tell you, the second pass this afternoon got remarkably rough. Kalle Rovanperä said he's never seen conditions as rough in Portugal as he saw this afternoon. And we still had that battle. We had Ogier, Tanak pushing to the max. We were holding our breath, waiting for something to happen.
We were. And I think it's just worth saying at this point, I find it genuinely remarkable that Tanak was able to keep pulling ahead of Ogier, the guy that we all know what he can do. 8-time world champion, record winner in Portugal. But yeah, we've sort of danced around it long enough. The power steering problem that happened for Tanak on that penultimate stage. Lost, I think, about 20 seconds-ish on that first, maybe 30. Dropped into third, which he managed to hold actually quite impressively in the Super Special. Didn't lose too much time. He's not out of the battle. The win is looking difficult, and that's the shame, because I know you don't like talking about people that deserve results in motorsport, but if we could use that phrase, I think, well, it's certainly cruel fortune on Tanak, nonetheless.
Look, but Ogier made the point. His suggestion was maybe they were both pushing a little too hard. And in those situations, it is very often you're the person who blinks first. And it was Tanak's car. It was Tanak's car, sadly. And I've talked to FX de Maison, and, you know, they've hit something. They've hit a rock, they've hit something. It's clogged up part of the steering fluids, and that's then led to the thing breaking. So it wasn't just a failure. It was a failure because they were pushing hard. And yeah, you have to have some sympathy for Roy. But as Ogier said, you know, they were both absolutely on, perhaps beyond the limit. Not beyond the limit, but certainly on the limit.
I felt it quite clearly when it happened, and obviously I just suddenly lost it. And obviously I tried, but so much roughness and bedrock, and had nothing more I could do. So unfortunate.
It's never a good situation to be in, but on a stage as rough as that, when you're leading the rally, it must be incredibly difficult to mentally deal with.
I've lost one victory here, exactly same way, more or less in quite in the same section in 2021 with Hyundai, and unfortunately it happened again. So it's a rally which I really enjoy, and I really love to win it, but probably not this time.
Seb, super difficult day out there for everyone, but you find yourself leading.
I think super tiring day. I think I never really struggled like this physically on the race day, and maybe a little bit of the age, but I think it's also the fact that, you know, yesterday I felt okay at the end of this marathon day, but the short nights didn't allow us to really recover from it, and today was much harder. So I'm glad we are here back at the service with a good day behind us. We didn't have the pace of Ott today. He was really always having this little extra, but at the same time we knew it was important to keep pressure as long as we can, stay as close as we can. Condition was so rough this afternoon. It was really a fight to survive it. And I say to my engineer, you know, anything can happen still. It's so, you know, so demanding for the cars. And of course, I don't celebrate to take the lead, like this. It's not the way we enjoy it the most, especially against a friend like Ott, but it's part of the game sometimes in motorsport. And now we have to try to finish the job tomorrow. 75 kilometers is still a long way.
It was fantastic while it lasted. And as you rightly say, it is not all over yet. We still have a fight, folks, tomorrow to look forward to. Ogier does lead the way from his teammate Kalle Rovanperä, but it is just a handful of seconds between Rovanperä, who it is fair to say has struggled this weekend to find the feeling, and Tanak, who will be fired up tomorrow. It's a proper day, over 70 kilometres, 6 stages.
This is true. And don't forget as well, tomorrow, of course, is Super Sunday and the power stage. So all these drivers, particularly the ones in the championship battle, Tanak, Rovanperä, Neuville, they need to get as many points as they can, because yes, Elfyn Evans is further back this weekend, but he's still got a very, very healthy lead. So Tanak and Rovanperä have it all to play for. I think that's going to be a very, very interesting fight tomorrow.
They do, and the other driver who still has it all to play for, certainly in terms of his podium ambitions, maybe even that second place, is Thierry Neuville. Again, Neuville has had, I think, a strong day out there. He managed to reel in Katsuta. He put pressure. He's putting pressure on Rovanperä. He's avoided trouble. He's the one that's driven the measured drive within the Hyundai team. He knows, as he did all through last season, that those big fat zeros on the score sheet are what absolutely compromise your championship challenge. And he knew that, but he also knew he had to make hay.
As you say, very, very clever. And clever is exactly what he was last year. And last year, he was champion. Have you been happy with the car today?
Yeah, it was quite okay. I mean, we're all pushing very, very hard all day long, and the time gaps were really small. Considering my road position, actually, I'm very happy with the day and how it went.
For the team, obviously not as ideal. We saw quite a rallying, almost emotional speech from him at the end of that last stage.
Yeah, I mean, we're all disappointed, and we all know how important this result was for us and for the team as well after, a difficult start into this season. But that's racing, and sometimes you just need to accept, and even if it's tough, we won't give up and we continue fighting.
Can Katsuta get himself back into this fight?
Good question.
Does he want to? Does he want to? That for me is the big question with Katsuta. Does he have to? Does he want to, and does he have to? And I think the answer to both of those is no.
See, I think he wants to. I think of any rally driver will want to try and fight for whatever they can. And the second part is interesting.
Context to want, but I agree with you.
Because, well, in terms of Manufacturers' Championship, that's the interesting point.
Yeah.
Because it would be easy to say, okay, Taka needs to get ahead of the Hyundais, but he is not registered 4 points. So whatever he does is essentially irrelevant to Toyota or Hyundai. So
he can influence things in the power stage. That's where he can't score points for Toyota World Rally Team, but he can take points. He can take points off Hyundai. So the opportunity is there for him, and I think that's where we'll see a push perhaps from Taka tomorrow. Well, we've mentioned Elfyn Evans already. We've mentioned drivers flying under the radar. You'd kind of think Evans has flown a little bit under the radar, but he hasn't. He's kind of stuttered under the radar. It's been a funny old day for Elfyn Evans. A funny 2 days. Yesterday, you can understand. There were mitigating circumstances. It was tough opening the road yesterday. Today, I fully expected Evans to catch Sammy, to pass him, to have that advantageous road position tomorrow. It didn't happen. Pirelli extended his lead over Elfyn Evans. What's going on?
It's concerning, is the first thing I'll say. Elfyn doesn't seem to know quite what the problem is. He has admitted to us that he's essentially having the same struggles he did last year with this kind of events, the Portugals, Sardinias, the Acropolises, which is bad news, given they're the next 2 rallies and this one we're in. It's really quite interesting because it's almost like we've had a very different Evans in the first 4 rallies. Evans is absolute best. When everything is hooked up, we know how good he can be. When everything's not hooked up, just struggles to really get 100% out of the package. And I'm with you. I think obviously there was a slight road position disadvantage, but it's nowhere near enough to explain the difference. And with the experience between the 2 drivers, Pirelli's never done this rally in a Rally 1 car.
Yeah, definitely way below expectation. Obviously, a bit of the same story as obviously we had on these dry gravel rallies last year. A bit lost with finding speed, even if it doesn't feel that bad behind the wheel. Actually, today, just not able to find any speed, it seems, and it's not just a little bit we're missing. So it's been a bit painful to watch the times roll in.
Well, the other battle that we've been watching all weekend is the battle of the M Sport youngsters. McAlane been here more times than Munster. Munster's been in the Rally 1 car more times than McAlane. How was it going to work out that battle? Well, it's working out in McAlane's favour. He's doing a really strong job out there.
He is, but it's interesting. I was not expecting the gap to widen as it was. Again, we stood here yesterday and we wondered which of these 2 factors would be overcoming. I've had my own personal suspicion, and it's kind of proving what I expected, in that knowledge of the rally is perhaps more important than the car, but particularly the first stage this morning, Munster really just wasn't quite at it. It was strange. And then from there, I guess, there's not been massive time gaps, but that was when it did the damage for him, and for McElwain was the boost.
For me, that's been the issue this weekend. McElwain has been more consistent, much more consistent. When they were close, and okay, Munster's had one or two decent stages and he's taken a bit of time back, but he's not shown the consistency that Josh has shown, and that's why Josh has built that lead out there. Continues to impress, he really does, Josh McElwain. And the last of our M Sport cars, the fabulous, the discovery of the rally, our new best Portuguese friend, Diogo.
Salvi.
Right?
Yeah, Diogo Salvi. Yes.
Diogo done nothing special in the stages. He's just enjoyed himself in the stages. But on the stop lines, in the media zones, he's been a superstar.
Massively entertaining, massively self-aware and self-deprecating. It's been brilliant.
Self-deprecation is a wonderful thing, and anyone who has the ability to self-deprecate, wins in my books. Wins in my books. Never take yourself too seriously, and he knows that. One Rally 1 car that we haven't mentioned, that is Adrian Formo. Have a look at the times. WRC, what he's been doing out there. They've been testing some bits on the car. We've not really seen much of him. He's looking forward clearly to Sardinia, and then in particular, I have to say Hyundai. I spoke to FX de Maison. They are looking forward to the fast gravel. Their season has been, not their season, but the adjustments they made to the car, the new parts they put on the car, were basically aimed at maximum performance on the fast gravel. Let's go on to WRC2, shall we? Yesterday was super impressive from Oliver Solberg. He's continued in a similar vein. What we've seen from Solberg in recent years is he's quite happy to protect the lead.
Far more mature than we would have seen him in the past. I hate to sound like a broken record, but I just yearn to know what to do in a Rally 1 car. I think he would genuinely do a very good job now. We saw great pace before.
You know what he can do? We saw it in Sweden when he made his debut. He was very, very unlucky. He was very badly treated by Hyundai. There's no question about that. His time will come. Johan Rossell and Gus Greensmith are battling for that second and third spot. It's gone a bit backwards and forwards today, hasn't it? There have been one or two issues out there, but those two are the two that are fighting for the final two podium places.
Yeah, they've been close. Greensmith has it currently, but by a very small margin. So another great battle to watch tomorrow.
Look, we revived our Driver of the Day feature yesterday, so I'm going to put you on the spot, and you have another opportunity to give me your Driver of the Day for today.
Am I allowed to choose the same driver as I did yesterday?
Yes, you are.
Ott Tänak.
Yeah, I would find it very difficult to disagree with that. If you say Tanak, I am a bit of a fanboy. I'm going to say Ogier. The wily old fox. Who do you think was the driver of the day? Tanak, Ogier? You might want to say it was perhaps Josh McElwain. Who knows? It may be our friend Diogo again. Would love to read your comments in the comments section below. Driver of the day. Folks, don't forget the Oregon Trail Rally is running this weekend in the States. We are covering that. The wonderful Brenton Kelly from Dirtfish, one of our instructors and our head of brand, he is providing the reportage from the Oregon Trail Rally. Got to say, one of the first rallies, in fact it was the first rally in North America I attended. The most incredible rally community there. I love that event. Keep an eye on our YouTube, our Instagram channels, our Facebook pages to see a bit of the flavour of what the American Rally Association and the Oregon Trail Rally is offering this weekend. And a proper day ahead of us tomorrow. We predicted a little bit of drama today. We got it. What are we predicting tomorrow?
Rain?
Are you?
No. I wanted to sprinkle a bit of spice in there.
It's not a bad little bit of spice, but it's a little bit of kind of sage. It's not a bit of chili.
No.
Chili spice will be thunderstorms, but that's not happening. We don't think. You never know in the mountains. There is a forecast for potentially a bit of rain. That will for sure mix things up tomorrow, folks. It is a proper day. We can't wait. If it's anything like the first 2 days of this event, we are in for an absolutely cracking Super Sunday here at the Rally of Portugal. Folks, we're heading off to dinner. We'll see you tomorrow.